Hey, good afternoon. Look at me, I'm actually recording. It's daytime. Yay, that means things either went right or I gave up. Kind of gave up a little bit. Well, okay, I didn't give up. We're just going to do it after instead of before. Just take deep breaths. It's okay. That's the biggest thing. Remember, if you get annoyed, if you get angry, if you get stressed, woosah, go with anger management. Deep breath in. Hold for 4 seconds. Out for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Do this many times until you calm down. I've been doing a lot today. It's okay. But anyway, welcome to week 5. This is for the week of May 2nd to May 8th, 2026. This is going to be, if you notice, every week I'm learning something new. This week I got a little stand for my tablet. Thank you, Copilot, for letting me know that we can put stuff in grandma mode because I can't see. So I'm like, oh yeah, I felt old. No, I'm kidding. It's okay. I need new glasses. Why do we keep saying that? It's okay. So we're going to start out. Again, this is the weekly update for my health. So again, we're going to start out, we're going to go over the changes that happened this week. We're going to have like a little health segment. We're going to have just like some updates of what happened this week and what's going to happen next week. That's the plan. And then I'm going to record the spotlight. This week we're going to be spotlighting some weights, which are in that corner if I haven't covered them up with pictures. And yeah, so we are kind of planned out. We're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna try to remember to stop this video around like 20 minutes and then restart it, because obviously it's gonna be a lot longer than 20 minutes because it always is. Because it doesn't like to upload otherwise, and then that's a whole nother hour of me fighting with ancient machines and trying to get them working. So it's okay, we're gonna go. Anyway, let's see here. So let us begin. Oh yeah, first things first, I had a thought, maybe if anything ever, if this ever picks up, maybe we'll start doing polls for the week after how many times my cats decide to interrupt me. And we'll go from there. I don't know. Random thought today. All right. Let us jump into getting these updates so we can move forward, basically. Okay, so let's see here. We're gonna start with weight. Okay, and I keep looking over like as I'm trying out this new tablet thing. It's not quite right in front of it. This whole setup is just, we're okay. All right, so weight, now throughout the week it's kind of done this up down thing, and which I said, if you weigh every day, you're gonna more than likely see it just kind of like some days goes up, some days goes down. The ups and downs didn't really change too much. It looks like the most was Monday, it went down 2.1, but they gone up like point this, up point that, yeah, all that stuff. So let's see here. Do I have things on here like I'm supposed to? No, and that's okay. We'll just go with total loss. So since last week, I have lost 1.8 pounds. So yay, going in the right direction. Since first recorded, which was around August last year, I think, it's been 53.7 pounds, so that's a definite loss. And then since my potential start, again, this is the number I am pretty sure I heard the doctor say when I saw them for the first time last March, 62.7. So yay. So let's see here. We're gonna look at what we have for Professor Calico's take. So this is what I've had now is my little Professor Calico having a take on what's going on, and we'll just kind of summarize. So we hit the rate running, and she goes rather purring. We actually had a brand new low this week of 232.3. That wasn't my end, but that's what I hit. It's a number I haven't seen in forever and a day, and that's okay. But yeah, lost 1.8 pounds. She says that is not noise, it's not luck, and that is consistent downward momentum, even with a couple of those normal midweek bumps. So some milestones: lost 53.7 pounds since my first recorded weight, and 62.7 pounds since my estimated starting point. Let's see here. And it says the graph dipped as we talked. It rose, it dipped, but still ended up being lower than what it was last Friday, which is a healthy, sustainable trend. Again, you don't want to be losing like 10 pounds a week. You like losing a pound, 2 pounds a week. That you want to go with a healthier, your body can adjust to it more. We might talk about that in a different video. It says Thursday and Friday especially show the body settling back out into its rhythm. And she gave me a purple sticker, so yay. Next, we're going to talk about blood pressure. And I did have a night where I actually took my last blood pressure after midnight. So for me, the day has not ended until I've fallen asleep and woken back up. So as far as I'm concerned, that was still the day before, and that's okay. But we did have a weekly average of 129/78, so we're still, it's a little higher for an average, and that's only because we did have some spikes here, especially in my mornings. They are like in the 130s. So yeah, this week, I woke up with some interesting blood pressure and spikes, but they did end up like going back down by the afternoon and the evening and stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry. That weekly average I just gave you was not the weekly average. That was actually the morning average. So that makes more sense. So my weekly morning average, 129/78. Like we said, I wake up and panic. So of course my blood pressure is going to go up. By the afternoon though, it did settle back down to like 97/63. And by the evening, about 99/62. So like I said, as the day goes on, it adjusts. I calm down, blah, blah, blah. Just that morning one just kind of reflects, you know, the stuff that's going on. I did not have a blurb for that one. Technical everything this week. Yeah, it did not ask. It might be a little bit of a mess this week, but we're going to get through it, okay? Now my heart rate, we did look at that. So the heart rate kind of stays, actually my afternoons seem a little bit higher. And it could, I'm not sure why, but the heart rate's still not in a bad range no matter where I am. In the mornings, it's about 90 for an average. In the afternoon, about 96. In the evening, about 91. So, not bad. Now, glucose, which is one that is very, very important. So the blood pressure is one that we keep track of. And as we've seen, other than those mornings, in all honesty, my overall glucose is, my overall blood pressure is not too bad. So we watched that is one of the main things I watch. And the other main thing I watch is my sugar levels. Those kind of, do I have a thing? No. Okay. So it's supposed to have a blurb. It's okay. Whatever. So let's just talk about though. Do I have any averages? I do not. Oh no, I do. Okay. So all in all though, my weekly average is about 111. That is, for me especially, that is really good. Like, I'm seeing numbers I haven't seen in 8 years. Like, I can literally say 8 because 35 is when I actually started like tracking and stuff like that. So 8 years I have not seen these numbers. So 111 as an average is great. My range, which means this is my lowest number to my highest number. I had a little bit of a high number here, but my range is 90, which I've seen a lot in the 90s. And before, like, go back about half a year or more, before, if I hit something in the 90s, I was lightheaded, I was probably hungry, I was grumpy, didn't feel right. Now I'm hitting 90s and I'm like, oh, I'm good. Because your body adjusts. So I am so happy to see these numbers. Like, these are numbers with the way things went when this whole, not so much this specific journey, but my whole journey of, you know, hit the age of 35 and my body went, we're good, we're gonna die now, bye. And everything just collapsed. I had pneumonia, I had bronchitis, I had the diabetes show up, even though I know we were watching it, but you know, that's when it finally showed up, and it was like in the 200s, nothing going down, nobody listening to me. Honestly, like I said, watch, if you haven't seen my starter video, which basically tells you about my journey. It's going to explain to you like just the problems I have with doctors and how high my sugars were and what I did, and just nobody listened. And I don't know, this doctor that I have now has been a blessing, because look at this, 90s, regular 90s that I'm not feeling like lightheaded. It's so amazing. You don't even know. I am ecstatic, to be honest. Now my highest were 143. Now I can't explain that. Because to be honest, most of some of them were usually like in the 90s or the 110s or the 120s. Low 120s. I did have a few high ones. So on Thursday, I did have a high of 143 at lunchtime. But so if I actually eat breakfast on a normal basis, I'll eat it like right before work. However, I didn't, and I was hungry, and my husband, because he loves me, said, okay, I'm gonna go get you a Sonic breakfast sandwich. It's one of my favorites that I can get in this area, is that sausage, egg, and cheese at the Sonic. I don't know why, it reminds me of a place where I used to live, that this little diner was just me. Outstanding sandwiches, not as good as those, but close enough to where I'm like, I recognize this. So anyways, I did that, and then I took my sugars an hour later, because I ate much later than I normally did. So yeah, that's an hour after I ate. Yeah, whatever, that's cool. I also had another little bit of a high that was in the evening on Tuesday. It was at 132. And the reason that was high, because I went out and I had me a margarita. Not a skinny margarita. I think they have those? I've never had one. A margarita. I had one. It was fine. But I still knew what I was doing. A lot of sugars. 132, like not long after that. I'm not gonna bat an eye at that one. I'm pretty much good. But yeah, and as I said before, if you're dieting, if you're trying to watch your sugars, stuff like that, that does not mean that I can't have that. That just means that you need to make sure that you're not having like a lot of that. Like I had a margarita, like I might have up to 3 depending on how it goes. I just had one that night. I won't have any more than that. Part of it is for my sugars, because it is a lot of sugar, and believe me, I can feel it. And the other part is, to be perfectly honest, I am what you call a binge drinker. I know my limit. As long as I stop at that, I'm good. Once I go over that, we got some problems. So yeah, I can have them. I can have them just as a regular margarita, and I have extra shots, and it's fine. It's just that, again, you just don't want to have like, I'm not going to do that every day. I'm not going to have multiple a day. And I'm not just margaritas, I'm talking like the other sugar stuff. I'm not going to, I'm going to adjust. I'm going to plan it out, all that good stuff, because it's fine to have it. It's the same thing with dieting. You can eat it. Just, put it in your log, adjust. Just don't binge like I do. I'm good at that. That's all. Like I said, doesn't mean you can't have it. Long story short, basically. So yeah, no, glucose looking great. I'm very happy with that. My sleep, yeah, I still fail pretty well at that. I did have a few longer days, and both of those longer days I had my we called second sleep. Basically, I had a nap. One of those days it was actually a nap, and then one of those days it was I passed out. So it's okay though. But my average sleep for the week is 6 hours, 22 minutes. That is below what they consider, I guess, like a healthy amount or something like that. I would love to say, yeah, but I feel rested and awake. No, I don't. I sleep until either my alarm goes off or I wake up, and then you think on the weekends I could sleep a lot longer, and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Whatever. It's okay. Again, I am not currently working on my sleep. I do need to work on my sleep. But that's going to be another story for another day. basically. So that's my sleep. Steps. So this week I did, well, not on the weekends, again, Saturday and Sunday. I'm sitting in this happy little chair here. And because I'm doing this, but Saturday and Sunday are my rest days. And yes, have rest days. Remember that. But for my total steps for the week, I did 59,443. My average is above what I currently have for my goal. Again, my goal is 7,500. My average steps per day, 8,492. My lowest day was 745 steps. That was a Sunday. Yeah, like I said, I don't do much on the weekends. I really don't. If you want proof, less than 1,000 steps. That means I'm sitting on my butt all day. My highest was Thursday. Thursday is when I have scheduled to do my Ingrid Kick videos. And I try to do an hour. I mean, there might be some times where it's like, oh, why is this so? Because maybe I did a 30-minute one, but if I have the energy or the willpower, I usually do an hour one. So I do that, and then I do my outside walks, which I do every night. So on Thursday, I did have 16,777 steps. So very happy with that. That means I doubled my goal for that day. And as time goes on, I will eventually move it up to 10,000 steps. I do hit 10,000 a lot of weekdays, which is what I'm doing. Not all, but right now I'm comfortable with 7,500. And you do want to make sure when you start your steps, don't start at like, oh, this is like what they suggest is you want to do at least this amount, like to 10,000. No, just, I said my steps, literally my goal steps started at 500 and then went up to 1,000 and so on, and so forth. And now I'm at 7,500, and I will eventually move it up to 10,000, but more like when I do, I'm gonna move to 8,000, 8,500, you know, slowly. But right now I'm good at 7,500. We're gonna talk about water. I actually did drink a good amount of water this week. Unlike last week. Last week had a bunch of stuff. So let's see here. My average intake is 73.2. You do want to drink at least 64 ounces a day. And just 1 second, and we'll go through that a little bit more, and I'll show you my water bottle, okay? All right, look at that. I saw the time went, oh, stop it, and we'll restart it. So hopefully this goes a little bit smoother this week. Cross your fingers. I need sleep. All right, anyways, talk about the water. So now when that 73.2, it doesn't count Saturday and Sunday, because again, Saturdays and Sundays, I have a tendency to just completely forget to track when I'm drinking. I'm trying. Eventually we're gonna get that, but on Saturdays and Sundays, I just check out and that's it. So anyways, the average is from Monday to Friday. Most days I did drink 80 ounces. Most of my days I had one of my 40-ounce tumbler thingies. Tuesday was 62 ounces. That Tuesday I ended up having to do adult stuff. Okay. One of those adult things was, and like I said, we're gonna be a little bit honest, but whatever I can be honest about, the yearly mammogram. Fun. It's actually not. It's really for all those, oh, it hurt. No, it's really not that bad. It's just not, you know, the most comfortable thing in the world, but I got my yearly done. Everything came back fine, I can tell you that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. So on this journey, I am learning to want to be here, want to be healthy, want to do things. I personally, though, if I find out like there's certain things that I could have, I'm one of those people, I don't want to know. I don't. Like, I literally have them have my number, or my husband's number, and tell them specifically, good or bad, call him. So who got that phone call? At least it was good news. Next year I'll just remind them, but yeah, hopefully it's not bad news ever and they call me, because that's gonna be a problem. All right, unless my mindset changes, which it's possible. But anyway, you know, you do use the same thing as people have DNRs and stuff like that. You just, if you have a choice, you want to make sure that that is your choice, and that's the way it works. And we'll go from there. But anyway, everything came back fine. It's fine. So as I said, I'm going to show you my water bottle for the week. I do have a lot of water bottles I've realized throughout this. So this one is the only one you'll need for the day if you get one like this. It is literally 64 ounces. And it's big. It's like your own, speaking of weights, there you go. I don't know how much it weighs. I should put it on the scale one day. I think this one does have like a straw or something you put in it, but it was just being annoying. So I just drink straight out of it. And luckily it has some nice little grips. Where did I get this one? This might have been one where, okay, so one place that I like to go whenever I'm in an air, like on vacation or something, is Dave & Buster's. So we had, it was one of those years we went to Dave & Buster's and we did really, really well. I got a bunch of, like, my husband always goes and gets me things from the claw machines because I am bad at them and he is good at them. So I'm just happy. And we played a bunch of games and stuff, and I had enough tickets. I could have got one of them really, really big animals, but there was no kitties, so I didn't. So I do have smaller stuffed animal kids, and I think I got this water bottle actually at the Dave & Buster's because I was like, yeah, this must have been last year, because I was like, oh, I need another water bottle. This is a nice big one. Again, it's 61, at least 64 ounces. This is a 64-ounce monster. So if you fill this and it's gone by the end of the day, you've reached your minimum. I think it's the minimum, but that you want to have for water a day. Is it a little fun to drink out of? Yes, but that's okay. But and if you have more muscles than me, bring that out on your walk, and you got some stuff. All right. So yeah, that's waters. So let's talk about the deficit, that calorie in versus calorie out. I believe we named it CAT. Which was in week 1. It was one of those weeks. Watch the previous videos. We do talk about the basically how many, for the energy out, you want to have a certain amount of calories that you eat, so that way you either gain, maintain, or lose weight. And again, having too little, can't do that. So anyways, so this week, again, we're gonna look at averages because otherwise I'm reading off a bunch of stuff. And we did not track Saturday or Sunday because I did not track my food on Saturday or Sunday. I just pretend those days don't exist apparently. But anyways, for Monday through Friday, my average calories in was 1,921. My average calories out was 3,056, which gives it a net deficit of basically negative 1,135. There was not actually any days this week that I went above my calories out. And just to let you know, the calories out, to track them, I don't know if there's a specific way. I just know my Fitbit does it for me, and I just put in what food I eat and hope that I put it in right. So these are not exact numbers. Because again, you're trusting me to do this, so I do my best. It's okay. But either way, not bad. I lost weight. I don't know if that's outside the deficit I should be in for when that body starts to like hold on to it basically. But I will probably put a note or something, because I usually like to put in the pictures wherever I'm going to put them, here or here. I don't know. I've been figuring out each week what the, like, what you should be at for things to do things. So yeah, that's that. Measurements. Now this week, I don't know if I just didn't measure right last week. I don't think I did that, or I didn't measure right this week. Like I said, I want to do the measurements, but because again, measurements over time, I can definitely see, oh yeah, there's been a change. But the week by week, like I said, if you're like me, I don't measure that great, so I'm probably off. So basically, my weekly net change was actually plus 2.25. We'll go over that a little bit, but my cumulative net from the baseline, so from whenever I first tracked, again, I think that August last year, Yeah, it was, I've lost 19 inches in total. It's for like all areas. So let's see here. What happened this week? So my left and my right arm didn't show any changes. Cool. Left thigh, no change. My right thigh went up 0.5. Left calf went up 0.5. Right calf went up 0.5. I think last week I might have lost in those, so I measured wrong somewhere. I am pretty sure. Well, it could have, I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I measured right. I don't know. The bust went down 0.25. Oh, that is some small type. Okay, they weren't wrong about the grandma type anyway. Waist apparently went up 0.5 and hip went up 0.5. So yeah, I'm not upset about it, any of the gains or anything like that, because I said either I gained it and okay, cool, that's fine, or I measured wrong somewhere and cool, okay, that's fine. But I said this, at least the main thing I'm looking at is, especially as over time, is from that baseline, where in all of those I have lost, I believe, except for the right arm. I apparently have gained 1 inch. Yeah. So I mean, that's the main thing. And honestly, the right arm, left arm, stuff like, they don't change much, and that's okay. All right, so let's talk about, okay, I had a weekly overview and it's gone now. So them's the basics. Yeah, it's okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is, from learning from beginnings, we're going to talk about what we now call the yarn, your awareness, resilience, and nurturing segment of this video. So let me learn to do this, and we're going to restart in a second. Okay, so back to the yarn segment. You might say things moved a little bit. Sorry, I had to record this afterwards because we had some technical glitches. Me. It's okay. Again, breathe. It's okay. So my yarn segment, like I said, I want to talk about basically how strength training helps with everything. Okay. And the spotlight again is going to be about those weights that are in my background if I haven't covered them. So let's finally begin. So this week I want to talk about something to think about a lot lately, your muscles. Okay. And I'm not talking about the kind you see on the magazine cover. It's the kind that quietly does all the hard work inside of your body every single day. Now, I used to think weight training was for people who were like already fit. Like, you had to earn the right to pick up a dumbbell. Nobody's walking around the neighborhood with a 3-pound dumbbell going to wake up in the morning like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or like Dave Bautista, or like Gal Gadot, if I'm saying the name right, as Wonder Woman. Now, I see this with full respect, because every single one of them did work incredibly hard to get that fit for that. They really did. But for the rest of us, we're just trying to feel a little bit stronger, and that's it. Okay? But here's what I've been learning. Muscle is one of the most important things that your body can have, especially when you're on a health journey like I am. I'm getting used to this reading the screen over here. I'm sorry. It does help it helps regulate your blood sugar. It supports your blood pressure. Very important things for me. It protects your joints and it protects your bones. Okay. What this means for us tracking our glucose every day, every time you use your muscles, even if it's lightly, your body gets better at pulling sugar out of your bloodstream and using it for fuel. So me doing strength exercises, be it by weights or by, again, we'll talk about a later segment, those resistance bands, because that's still strength training. Resistance bands is strength training, okay? It's what's helped me go from like those sugars that were in the high 200s down to seeing 90s. Weight training's a lot to do with it. Now, I'm not gonna have the muscles back like I did as a kid when I was I used to hay bale and all that stuff. I don't really see those ever coming back, but I can at least get some muscle in my body to where I can lift things and stuff like that. And by doing those muscles, again, even if it's slightly, it's helping my body regulate my sugars. So basically, it's literally your numbers are improving because you moved. Now, as for your blood pressure, Resistance training strengthens your heart and your blood vessels. And over time, that work pays off in the lower readings. So those high blood pressure readings are now like in a basically normal range. Sorry, my brain went thing. Now I just want to remember that when you're looking at all my numbers and stuff that we talked about earlier, it's not all, oh, it's because she did strength training, that's what she did, that's it. And exercise, that is a big part of it. But it's also, I do have medications I'm on, so you may need medications. I do need medications. But the thing is that your medications aren't going to I mean, they may lower things, but they're not going to work by themselves. When you do strength training, now for some of y'all, that's all you need. But for some of y'all, it's going to need a little extra help, and that's what the medication does. So talk to your doctor. And just let you know about strength training too, make sure you do talk to your doctor before you do all this. Make sure you do start out small, lower weights and stuff and build up. But yeah, no, it's definitely going to help you out with your blood pressures, your sugars, stuff like that. So if you're tracking them already, just imagine being able to watch those numbers shift because of something as simple as the 3-pound dumbbell on your evening walk. It also keeps your metabolism working for you instead of against you. Now, one thing I want to bring up, because I know I've heard this my entire life, I'm sure you have too more than likely, is that you're gaining weight because, muscle weighs more than fat. We need to pause on that little statement a second here, because guess what? I'm going to be honest with you. A pound of muscle, it weighs exactly the same as a pound of fat. Weighs exactly the same as a pound of feathers. A pound equals a pound. But, they're all the exact same weight. However, that's not an untrue statement in other ways too. It's not that, but it's just the way it's worded, really. Because here's the thing. Muscle is denser. It is more compact. So a pound of muscle, it actually takes up less space in your body than the pound of fat does. So, and we'll talk about the weight part in a second here, but basically that's why when you also want to measure yourself, it is possible that you may go up in weight because of muscle, but you're going to see your measurements go down because that fat was taking up much more room than the muscle. The muscle is going to take up much less room. It's going to be a lot more condensed. So this is a pound of fat, this is a pound of muscle, basically. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the weight. What does this mean? So it means the scale, it might not move in the way you expect. It might go up a little, but your clothes are fitting differently. Your body's changing its shape. You're getting smaller in the ways that actually show. So yeah, your weight may go up, but your body goes down, gets smaller. It's because of that muscle. So if you're on this journey with me and you start adding weights and the scale does something funny, don't panic, because your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay? And just real quick again, make sure you speak to your doctor before starting anything like this, to make sure it's safe for you, especially if you have joint problems like I do, just to make sure you're like, I'm not just, and don't start out at like that 50-pound dumbbell. You want to start small, and it's okay. All right? So here's the part that nobody talks about. So we're going to talk about the mental side too. Because picking up a weight, especially when you're tired, when your day has been long, and when you'd rather sit on the couch, that is me every day. It's not a small thing. That is a decision that you made. And every time you make that decision, even if it's just for 10 minutes, even if it's just one time around the block, one time within an apartment complex, one time around your apartment complex, and you have on those 1 pound, just a 1 pound bangle on your wrist, or you have a 1 pound bangle on your ankle, or you're carrying those things. What you're doing is you're building something that doesn't show up on the scale. You're building a version of yourself that does not quit. Resilience does not mean you've had a bad day. Oh, sorry. Everybody has a bad day. But it doesn't mean that you never have a bad day. It does mean that, and it doesn't mean that you never miss a walk or you never skip a workout. We're 5 weeks in. How many workouts have I skipped? I'm like, I was tired that day. I went and passed out instead. Resilience doesn't mean that. It happens. We're all human. Resilience is what happens after those days. It's waking up the next morning deciding, okay, today I try again. That's it. That's the whole secret. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep coming back. And if you are watching this right now, you already are. So that was talk about resilience. Ignore me. Let's talk about nurturing. So I want to say something that's just not said enough. And that is, taking care of your body is not selfish. It's not vain. It's not extra. It is necessary. Nurturing yourself means more than just the workouts. It means resting when your body asks for it. Take those rest days. It means not beating yourself up when the scale goes sideways. Because now you know why things are happening. It means celebrating the small wins. The walk you finished. The weight you did pick up. The reading that came in a little better this week. So that's sugar reading and everything else. Those things count. All of them count. You're not just building muscle. You're building a relationship with your own body. Probably one that has been a little complicated for a little while, if we're being honest. And this right here, the journey you're on, the journey that I'm on, this is how you start to change that. You change it one choice at a time, one walk at a time, 1 pound at a time. You deserve to feel strong, and you deserve to feel good in your own body. And you're doing the work to get there. That is the nurturing, that is love, and that is yours. So this is your awareness, your resilience, your nurturing, and this is your yarn. Okay. Let's see here. I do have a little word from Professor Calico, because you know I like to put those in because they're fun, and then I actually didn't delete the blurb this time. Having a week, it's okay. So she's very happy that we remember Gal Gadot. Again, I hope I'm saying that name right. We're remembering Wonder Woman. She approves. Her standards are high, much like her perch. Okay. She says now weight training. She doesn't personally lift weights, but she does lift her expectations. And occasionally the corner, I'm laughing, I haven't even read this yet. And occasionally the corner of a treat bag when no one's looking. Professor Calico's not the only one. I have 3 cats that are doing the same thing. Yeah. But she has observed in this household long enough to understand the assignment. The assignment is muscle. The science is settled, and she's reviewed it extensively while napping directly on top of those relevant documents. Muscle burns fuel. Muscle steadies the blood sugar. Muscle supports the heart. And muscle, this is the part that matters, muscle takes up much less space than fat. The pound of feathers point, this is perhaps the most sensible thing a human has ever said on this program. And she's made a note. The Arnold and Rock and Dave concern is also noted and dismissed. Nobody picking up a 3-pound bangle is accidentally becoming a WWE. It was WWF back in my day, but anyway, a WWE champion. She's modeled the physics. It don't happen that way. Okay. What does happen, and she's watched this, is that people who keep showing up get stronger, quietly, gradually, in the ways that the scale can't measure. Your clothes are going to shift. Your numbers are going to shift. Your energy is going to shift. You are going to shift. And this is the whole yarn. That is all of it. And she says, now go pick up something heavy. I will be here supervising from the couch. Do I really have 4 cats? I'm not sure. Anyway. So before we go into those spots about the week, just because I kind of had to put it in there and I was all excited, I do want to let you know we moved around. So one thing we did do this week is actually move around some stuff in the house. I found a palette that I lost a long time ago and was very upset about it. It's my all-time favorite palette, cremated by Jeffree Star. I just had to show it off. Why? Because I can. But yeah, I thought there was something else. You know what? one of these days everything's gonna be like nice and smooth. I'm not sure which day, I'm not sure which week, but this is not the week. But either way, I'm very happy with the way that things are turning out. So we're gonna go into that other part that we're going to stitch in and finish up the week. And yeah, I hope to see y'all next week. Okay, bye. Well, go next week. It'll just whatever. Bye. Okay, so this part, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's happened this week and what is going to be happening next week. And I don't really have too much this time around. This week, like I said, had my yearly mammogram. Everything came back fine. Everything, and like I said, I think those have changed a lot since like when my mom went or something. It's just, it ain't nothing. You just go in, you get embarrassed for a little bit. Biggest problem I have is my arms, because I have to put them like on the machine, and problems I have my arms, but whatever. So everything's fine on that one. That's what happened this week. Other than that, got through the week and kind of was oh, my exercises. So I know every week I'm like, okay, well, I missed this day because of adulting. I didn't miss this day because I just didn't feel like, I think last week I just took 3 days off. So this week, technically Tuesday, I did kind of miss I still did my outside walks. Tuesday, I think, was that like 8,000 step one. But I didn't like do like my hinge health or my daily exercise, which on Tuesdays I do the leg stretchy things. That's something we'll cover another one. And my weights, these purple ones, and you know, I do 15 reps of those. So that's usually Tuesday. So I did kind of miss that on Tuesday, but and on Wednesday I couldn't really like do the hinge health part because that's a daily, it's a daily thing. Like you can't just, there are ones you can do over and over and over again, like the same day, but when it comes to your daily hinge, basically you do that, it goes away. The next day it comes back and goes, here's your thing for, so I couldn't, so the daily hinge did get missed for Tuesday, but on Wednesday, what I did was I did my Wednesday Pilates YouTube, which I need to add because I found a new YouTube. She's pretty cool. I do like her. I've only done it twice, but I do like it. But Pilates, and I have another YouTube I need to add, which is for like the Tai Chi walk thing, which seems really simple, by the way, but oh, my arms. Oh, my arms. I do sweat. So what I did is I did those, and then I added in the Tuesday weight and leg to at least add that up. But other than that little blip, I did do my exercises every weekday this week. So very happy, very proud of myself. There were days I didn't want to do it, but I got myself to do it. So yeah, that's kind of just what happened this week. There wasn't too much going on, work and whatever. Next week, I don't have, I usually have something like, oh, this is what I'm planning. I'll be honest, next week I do have stuff to do on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I don't know how I'm like, oh yeah, I got a week finally done. I'm like, I'm gonna do all my exercises next week. Maybe not. I'm actually not even gonna be home. So, the cats will be fine. My house won't. But so next week, I don't have really anything planned. I don't see me getting those websites done. I'm trying. It'll happen. It'll be okay. But, yeah. So we're going to try to do the websites. I don't really see it happening. Otherwise, it's just going to be a nice quiet week. I haven't quite planned what I'm going to do for the health segment and the spotlight quite yet. I know next week is going to be one of those, is the week for like apps or like things that aren't like weight related, like aren't exercise related. There might be more mind related, like affirmation cards or like YouTubes. I was honestly thinking I might cover Mr. Ballin next week. And just to let you know, when I do, if I don't cover them next week or eventually, yeah, it is, you do want to find something that suits you. I'm going to talk about things again that suit me. I like spooky things. You may not. You may like fun, happy things. So my stuff is going to cover spooky things. So I don't know, maybe that'll be next week, but we'll decide. So what I'm going to do from here is we're going to possibly sign off if I have stuff I'm supposed to have. And I don't. Okay. Yeah, we're going to sign off for this one. So I can go make the spotlight, and I think there's another segment that I was missing that I gotta go record for that, which you'll see before this. I don't know, I'm babbling, it's okay. So for now though, that is a wrap for this week. Again, if this video helped you at all, or you know someone it may help, please give it a share, because you never know who's out there that might need to see this and go, I think I can do that, and it might help them too. So please give it a share if it helped. Please give it a like, subscribe so you know when my next week's coming up. I guess what people say, hit the bell. Yeah. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. I'm just babbling today. It's okay. Try and make sure you don't miss next week if you're liking this. So, but again, we'll be back next week, rain or shine, computer dead or not, and we'll see you then. Okay, bye.